Let's get to some AFC and NFC divisional championships. Let's bring in our expert cappers, Craig El Huapo Trapp and Tony El Tigre Tellus.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications every time we have a new video.
Okay, so we're going to go with the Titans at Chiefs. Is that what you wanted?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Tennessee Titans, 11-7. 11-7 against the spread. The Giant Killers. Come on, let's face it. They go to New England. They beat the Patriots. They go to Baltimore. They beat the Ravens. Held Baltimore to 12 points. New England to 13 points, under 13 points in both games. They turned 3 Ravens turnovers into points, but the Chiefs only average 1 turnover a game. So it's kind of an interesting thing going on there. Adam Humphries, Jayon Brown, Cody Hollister. I think they're all still out. You guys can fill me in on the latest injury report. I'm still here, though. And the Chiefs, 13-4, 12-5 against the spread. They beat the Texans in that insane comeback win. The key will be if the Kansas City Rush can get to Tannehill. And some of this will depend on Chris Jones' health, although they did okay without him. They've won 7 straight by an average of 15.8 points. And they are home favorites, 7.5 points. Total 52. All right, we're going to... who's looking the most laid back today? Definitely you, Tigre. Go for it, tell us.
Yeah, I like this game. My side I have is my best player of the weekend. You can pick it up at over at picksandparlays.net, but I will comment a little bit about the total here. I like the over in this one. You know, the teams combined for 77 points in their first meeting, and I'm really impressed with the play of the offensive line for Tennessee. I think it's getting a little overlooked here. I know Derrick Henry's getting all the headlines, but you know what? The holes are getting open by this offensive line. They've been very physical, and you mentioned about keeping the rush off Tannehill. I do believe that this Tennessee Titan offensive line can protect Tannehill and open up some big plays in the passing game. You know, this Chiefs defense can be exploited. We've seen it happen before. And if you got a balanced attack like the Titans have with the run game with Henry, with an offensive line open up holes, it's going to open up some plays downfield. So I definitely believe Tennessee will get some points. I know Kansas City will score their share of points, but I'm going to play the over in this one.
All right, so my question for you on that, though, it's interesting. You're playing the over on this one, but I have to question that because I already mentioned how the Titans held Baltimore to 12 points, New England to 13 points. So if you assume they can repeat that act, they can hold Kansas City down to a low number. Do you see them scoring much on the Chiefs defense? I know you mentioned you thought they were a little porous, but I mean, come on. That much? I mean, that they're going to go over 52?
Yeah, I think there could definitely be a game 31. You know, the winner here getting in the 30s in this one, because the thing is we mentioned about the Titans' offensive line. You know, it's really the line play that's really open up the offense here for Tennessee. And of course, you got a common quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. But again, when you put everything together, when you have a run game with Henry, remember in that first meeting he ran for 225 yards on this Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
The Chiefs defense look completely different when you have a balanced attack against them. So I do believe here that the Titans will be able to get some points. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, they got their act together against Houston. They can put up points, but again, to get to 52, you know, it's possible here. You know, with one team in the 30s, another team in the 20s, you can definitely get that points total over the total here. And again, the Chiefs defense has given up big plays, and I think they can be had when you play action, especially with the run game working.
All right, Craig, how do you see this one?
Well, to me, I don't know how you don't take the points with the Tennessee Titans. I just think the Tennessee Titans are the team of destiny this year. Now, you can be the team of destiny and still cover and maybe not get this win here. I just think the Tennessee running game is going to keep the Patrick Mahomes and that great Chiefs offense off the field, and that is the key. Over there, they can't score. I think Titans are looking for long drives, and I think they're going to get a lot of those. Derrick Henry is going to be a key again this week. He has been the MVP of the playoffs in the AFC for sure. I think Tennessee Titans and the points are the play here. Both these teams have been really good against the spread recently. 7-3 against the spread the last 10 for the Titans. 7-2-1 the Chiefs. So both these teams have been really good, especially since Patrick Mahomes came back. And the Chiefs have been good at home this year, 5-3-1 against the spread. But I think that ends. The Titans have been a little better on the road, 7-3 on the road. Of course, both of those wins in the playoffs were on the road. I think this third win here, I'm going to take them probably a 70-30 split here. I'm going to take 70% with the points, and I'm going to put 30% on the money line here because I think the Titans team of destiny this year.
It does seem like that, doesn't it, Craig? I mean, it's not as if they're rolling through and they're going to hit absolutely the best team in the NFL. Right. I mean, you know, they are going to hit an eminently beatable team. The Kansas City Chiefs are a very good team, no doubt about it. You know, if you look at the Ravens, you would have said there's no way the Titans are getting past the Ravens. So They're going to be on a roll. They are road warriors. They've 2 big upsets on the road. Can they make it 3? I like that big momentum in these games because so much of this is emotional.
And something very important here. Something very important. The Tennessee offense #1 in the red zone, and that's key. When you have that balanced attack, when you have that run game, it does open up that end zone for touchdown passes from Tannehill.
And don't forget Andy Reid, not the best coach come playoff time. So many times we've seen his teams both in Philly and in Kansas City roll up these amazing seasons offensively and come when they need him the most. And this would be the game they need him the most. I guess obviously if you get to the Super Bowl that would be the most, but second most. And they don't put it together for a half. Remember last year they lost to the Patriots. Why? Because they only did it the second half, and then they didn't get the coin flip in overtime. Tom Brady won and of course won the Super Bowl. So I like the Titans here. Going to fade Andy Reid again this year.
All right, let's move along to the next game. That would happen to be the 49ers, Packers at 49ers. I have it reversed. Excuse me. I have it European style, home team first. But okay, so it's Packers at 49ers. San Francisco 14-3. Of course, Garoppolo having a great season. And Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 14-3 as well. They're both 11-6 against the spread, by the way. Last meeting in Week 12, though, the Niners won 37-8 in San Francisco. Green Bay converted just 1 of 15 third downs, and Aaron Rodgers got hit 10 times and sacked 5. Out. He's definitely going to be preparing the ice packs after this game, no doubt about it. The Niners finished first in passing yards allowed per game. They're 10-2 straight up in the last 12. But I will say this, for those Packers fans, the Niners, not the Seahawks. They are a much, much better team, and they are 6-point home favorites. Total is 46. Let's start with you, Craig. Do you see this one going under?
Well, what I'm surprised is this line isn't at the key number of 7. When that line opened at 7.5, I saw some 7s out there. I thought this line for sure by this point of the week would be at 7, and it's still not. That means a lot of the public still obviously out there and saw that Vikings blowout loss at the hands of this 49ers team. I like that total a little bit as the under there. I just think both these defenses are a little better than the offenses. I think both teams like to run the ball and would like to play defense. And that's funny to say with Aaron Rodgers, probably the greatest quarterback we have right now. Well, definitely in the NFC. And if he's on the team, usually it's all about passing. Not the case this year. They are a very good running team. They are very good on defense. I think Green Bay's the play here with the points. This is a team that was a road warrior. They're 6-2 on the road. Now, those 2 losses were in California at 40. I believe they lost bad loss to the Chargers. That was the really scratch your head about midpoint of the season. But since then, Green Bay has kind of rebounded. I think 5-3 on the road against the spread. I think getting that extra hook convinced me. We're going to take the Green Bay Packers here with a little money on the under as well.
Packers, some money on the under. Tony Tellez, you like that play?
Well, yeah, I'm going to be butting heads here with Craig. I'm going to take San Francisco here laying the points. I'm not a big fan of the revenge factor in professional sports. I like it more in college. I think in professionals, it gets in your head. And I really believe here, looking at the games last week and overall throughout the season, I prefer the line play of San Francisco offensive and defensively. I think their speed and conditioning for 4 quarters of play better on the San Francisco side on both sides of the football. And remember that in their first playoff game, I believe the 49ers left some points off the scoreboard. Jimmy Garoppolo made some mistakes. He can play better, and on film, I think that's correctable. It'll be a learning experience for that first playoff game for Garoppolo to get better for this game. Remember in that first meeting, it was the 49ers line play that was dominated. 37-6 win. Packers offense generated less than 200 yards of offense. Now, the 49ers got back Dee Ford, and of course, Quan Alexander into the lineup, and the defense has responded with a really strong performance. Rich Sherman, also healthy. Remember when he was not there, the 49ers defense struggled in the second half of the season. And of course, the Packers faced a Seahawks team that was decimated with injuries and just got pass-hailed by 5. And I did not like the look of the Packers at the end of that game. It was kind of like that racehorse that looked like it gave his best effort and expect a bad outing the next week. I think that's the Packers defense because they were really on their heels at the end of that game. And one thing to note here, the Packers offense did struggle on third down this season, 23rd in the league. And San Francisco offense 5th on third down, and the defense 2nd best in the league. The 49ers are healthy. I think they're going to control this game, and I'm going to lay the points with San Francisco.
Yeah, I brought that up. I mean, I said Green Bay converted just 1 of 15 third down attempts, and Aaron Rodgers got hit 10 times and sacked 5 when they played last time. So maybe it's a little optimistic.
That's the play of the offense.
Craig
that's
is,
a line play.
A little optimistic here.
Well, I just think San Francisco. They played at times this year. I thought they were the best team in the league, but we've also seen that they were not. Some teams, and a lot of that was injuries. I'll give them that, and they were good at home. So I mean, that's the key in this one. I just think, come playoff time, usually the points are pretty good. Usually the underdogs and unders. That's usually the key. And we've seen that both the wild card and last week, the unders and underdogs were pretty decent. Unders maybe not as much, but the underdogs for sure. So I want to take the underdog this week. Tony's going to butt heads with me, though.